Twitch has found themselves in yet another controversy. This time, it's not gambling, it's not the hot tub streams, it's not more of their mod discussion. It is AI. And Amazon has said that they are going to use Twitch's content to help train generative AI models. And here's the important part: if you're a streamer, it's automatically on. You have to actually go out of your way to opt out of this. And on top of that, their chief product officer said that if it was opt in, nobody would opt in, which is absolutely true. So today we're going to break that down on this episode of Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers.
Let's go. So Twitch has yet again a PR scandal, and I'm telling you, Twitch only knows how to do PR wrong. Like they only know, like it's weird. It's like, how do you just wake up like, hey, we have to announce this because, and I'll give Twitch one out. I think they have to do this. I don't think they want to do this. I think they have to do this. But it's almost like, well, I guess we have to. Let's not think about it further. They just go straight into, they just announce in the dumbest ways that ticks everybody off.
Oh, so true.
You should know by now how to do this and not be so reactionary. But just to share, because it's funny to share their memes, I'm going to share, it's not a meme, it's just how they operate. I'm going to share their tweets. You said the one where, which one did you just say about the CPO?
That I said if it was opt in, nobody would opt in. Which it's crazy that like Twitch is the perfect example of all news is good news, because they don't really care how people are responding. They're actually saying the quiet part out loud, and they just don't care how people respond anymore.
Yeah, so there he is. There's his comment. If it was opt in, nobody would opt in. So they're forcing you to opt out. It's just they should just know from the get-go how this is going to be received and just be a little bit more forthcoming, because you're delaying the inevitable and just making people hate your brand, which ultimately I think that's the biggest concern, right? No individual thing that Twitch does will kill it, but it's 100 stabs will kill it. And this is just yet another stab among all their crazy bans that never make any sense. It's just, man, Twitch management has got to be one of the biggest examples of incompetence. I don't know any other way to say it. It's just a level of lack of, and really it's just a lack of self-awareness. I gotta imagine these guys are not actual morons. They're not actually dumb guys, but it's really a case in the lack of action is an action, and it just shows you are dingleberries. And you're probably not. They're probably smart as heck. But the ability to not act and now always have to defend bad decisions. Here we are. Let's see if I can. Oh, looks like I have to share the next ones. I'll have to share each one individually. Continue.
While you're looking that up, I think you touched on what I think is one of the main points of this episode is I don't think that the actual fact that they're using AI to train generative, or they're using the content to train generative AI is the big problem. The problem is this is yet another time that Twitch is handling the response to decisions they're making incredibly poorly. And it would be different if this was a one-off thing. But as you talked about before, like this happens over and over and over again. And at what point do content creators finally get fed up and move on?
Well, one of the benefits is there's nowhere else to move on to, right? So Twitch, all the other places, you could go to Kick, you could go to Rumble, you could go to YouTube, you could go to, I don't know, anywhere else. But the problem is all those places are even worse than Twitch when it comes to meme culture, gamers, and just Twitch and just actual chatting culture and community building. It's best on Twitch. It's just Twitch is so bad at cultivating and curating this that if it wasn't born here, it would have never been. And right now it would not. And it's dying every day. Twitch is almost making sure it gets stabbed again. So here's another quote from Zach Busi on Twitter. Twitch now uses your channel to train generative AI by default. you have to actually opt out. And there's an actual comment down below that I actually like, where it says something to keep in mind: if you chat in someone else's stream that hasn't opted out of the training, then your chat is being used. So just because you opt out, it's really, and that's kind of the funny thing. If you're not a streamer, like you and I are not streamers. So you and I not opting out, or you and I opting out, actually doesn't fix anything.
Yeah.
Because it's the streamers we go to. If they didn't opt out, us opting out is meaningless because we are not the creators ourselves. So it really is a problem that everyone has to opt out. And that's why in Twitch's infinite wisdom, they did it this way. I just think that they should have been more forthcoming. If I were them, I would have said, hey guys, the Amazon overlords is making us do this generative AI thing. It is going to be opt out. You have to opt out to get out of it. But we're just letting you know in advance. Everyone has to opt out. We're being told to do this. If you have an issue, take it up with Amazon. We have to do this because we're owned by Amazon. So
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah. It's a very, very different conversation, because and going back to we knew people would opt out if we knew no one would opt in if we told you had to opt in. That whole conversation is very different if Twitch is saying like, hey, by the way, Amazon now has all these resources to potentially train some of their generative AI on your content if you want to do that. Instead, the whole conversation is around, we are going to do this unless you specifically tell us not to. And on top of that, unless like your point with the chat, unless you are specifically only in streamers chats that are also opting out, you're still going to be used to train generative AI, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and here, let me get this next one up. Twitch support, we've added, nope, wrong one. I'm trying to find this one. Yes. Okay, so this one is, again, Zach putting out a thing. But the crazy comment is below that, where it says, Twitch support, just want to be clear. This lets you opt out of Amazon generative AI content model training. Twitch is not training Gen AI models on streamer content. And so that's Twitch's stance, but that's not necessarily Amazon's stance. And a lot of folks are reading into the finer details down below that it's not true. And what I would just tell everyone is you can't trust any of it. You have to opt out. Like, just because that's their stance today doesn't mean that's their stance tomorrow. And ultimately, what would Twitch really love to do, or what would Amazon like to do, is own the entire ecosystem. Like, it's one thing to partner with creators, but what if we could replace creators? What if AI could do everything and we could own everything, and then we don't have to profit share because you don't matter anymore? I really think that's where this is going, because what else does AI do? AI's entire job is to learn how to do what we do, at least as good as we do it. So I don't believe that this line, this imaginary line that they've drawn in the sand, will be honored, and for how long? So
because they don't even own the models that the AI is generating. That's not Twitch, that's Amazon. So they actually legitimately have no grounds to even make that statement in the first place, which is crazy. And going back to the opt-in versus opt-out thing, if they did have the best of intentions and knew that nobody would opt in if it was opt-in, then why not make it opt-in? If you actually think, oh, this is good for creators, this is going to help people, then make it opt-in. Because otherwise, you're trying to sneak people something in that is not good for other people. It's like the terms and conditions. There's a reason it's 18,000 pages long, is because these companies know you're not going to go through it and have that one line in there that says, oh, because you own Disney Plus one time, you're never allowed to sue Disney until the end of time.
Yeah, it's the purpose of the episode isn't just to talk about the rage and that people are upset, but it's just really bad business practice. This episode is mostly about, you can't stop. At the end of the day, Amazon owns Twitch, and Amazon is in the AI race like everyone else. So everyone's fighting. It's literally this bloody fight to the top for the AI bros to top each other and figure out who's on top. So Amazon is going to do what Amazon does to win this AI race. But the thing that I want us to call attention to is Twitch's business management, C-suite, and just PR department, and just everyone involved. How do you not know? How do you not know how ticked off? Did you really think the Twitch audience would be like, oh, this is great. Oh, man, so good. We want Amazon to win. Definitely learn everything that we do. We're not afraid of losing our jobs or our communities or our power as unique individual voices on internet. Absolutely. Like, what kind of meetings are you guys in where you look to each other and say, hey, how do you think this is going to go? And everyone's, yes, boss. Very good, boss. Yes, it's good, boss. It's good. It's good. Do whatever you say is the best. Like, if that's your management, dude, fire everybody. Just fire them all. Like, how about you hire people with some real guts and real gusto and really can actually tell you what people think, so you're not dealing with this PR nightmare. Because it blew up super hot. Yeah,
it did. And I think this goes back to something we were talking about back in our Lego episode about the bricks and minifigs thing. And like, the real cost to this is not the lawsuit or the money that they're going to have to pay. It's the loss of goodwill. I mean, you're an accountant. I took accounting classes. One of the actual columns, like when you're doing the accounting for a company, is goodwill. Like, there is actually a monetary value to the goodwill and how people perceive a company. And Twitch has proven time and time again that they either A, don't care how you think about them because they're the only option realistically, or two, they just don't know how to actually treat their content creators, which is the only reason Twitch has anything to stand on, is the content creators. They don't know how to treat them well and to make sure that they're happy with the program that they're putting out, which brings me to one of the things you brought up before we were recording this. I didn't know that the former chief project officer said this, but this was what, like a couple years ago, that the chief project.
Oh, I got it. Chief product officer. Yeah. There we go. Basically, he says if you have 1,000, if you're less than 1,000 CCV, you're dead weight. So there it is. If you want to take your time to read it. It's just crazy because most content creators are lucky if they break 100 viewers. To break 1,000, it's doable, but it's really, the vast majority are below 1,000. So again, it's just saying the quiet things out loud. What you're really saying is a majority of Twitch is dead weight. Like, probably 98% of it is dead weight. It's just, wow, that's a painful one. We don't want to be here only for the rage bait, but that's a discouraging comment to hear from, considering you're alienating 98% of all content creators. There's over 8 million streamers on Twitch alone.
Yeah.
And you're effectively booting 90. Imagine again, corporate, whatever, you're destroying 98% of your laborers, of your professionals.
This is like, if you're a content creator that, let's take a video game controversy that recently happened. If you're a Destiny 2 content creator and 98% of your content, the people that watch your content are there for Destiny 2, and the whole shutting down Destiny 2 thing is happening, moving to Marathon, and you all of a sudden go, guys, I never liked Destiny 2 in the first place. It's a trash game. I'm going to be quitting all Destiny 2 content. It's worthless. It's dead weight. Marathon's the new thing. Like, that is exactly what Twitch is. Well, the person who no longer works at Twitch. So that is not Twitch's official position. But that's the exact same thing as what this guy at Twitch was saying, essentially, is completely alienating the core audience of what makes the platform a platform.
And what's really crazy is the smaller communities usually have the richest interactions, the most vibrant. The creator, if you're below 1,000, the content creator can actually know you individually and know individual details. Once you cross 1,000, we actually enter more of a consumeristic experience, and we're almost just like live cable television. And the quality of the impact in each individual viewer, it drops dramatically because you're spreading one person over 10,000, 1,000 people, 3,000, 5,000. Instead of
Hmm.
spreading that person over 200, 300 people, where you can actually know folks. And the whole Dunbar's number, anything over 150 relationships gets really hard to maintain a quality relationship and not just be a
Yeah.
transactional one, but actually be an emotional, real, deep felt community one. So nice work, nice work, nice work. What a time! What a time! All I can think is if I worked at Twitch, I would have such a fun time because I would just be smashing stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Like that's terrible. Like how do I'd probably be fired just because I'd be telling the truth too often. But they're just doing. I don't know. We
Yeah.
talk about how Twitch is unprofitable. They have yet to break a profit since they were sold to Amazon. And I'm telling you, it's a death by 1,000 stabs. Like all these stabs, like takes you from further and further from ever achieving a profitable role because you've just alienated 98% of your streamers, and then now you're alienating the chat from wanting to even be on your platform because they're afraid everything that they do is being stolen by AI. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the pay. Maybe it isn't stolen. Well, what is the financial benefit to generative AI? Is there any plus side to this?
I mean, I don't see anything. Like as of now, there is absolutely zero incentive for a creator to opt in. Like potentially if there was some sort of, hey, if we end up using your content to create whatever platform, streamer support, actual AI streamer bot, maybe that would make some form of sense. But right now there's like literally no benefit to the content creators for this generative AI. Potentially in the future, maybe it can be built into some sort of support bot for Twitch streams, whether something to compete with like StreamerBot, FireBot, something like that. But right now, I don't see any reason why there's a monetary advantage for streamers.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one other thing. We're all mad and we're trying to fight back and push back, and we have all these rules and regulations. But I'll tell you, there's other AI models that don't care about the rules, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you which one, but there's a really big one with 1 billion people that they don't care about the rules, that they're going to do whatever they want to train AI at any cost without any types of control or concern for what the population thinks. And obviously, their culture is more community minded, so they want to do what's best for the country as a whole. Whereas us in the West, we care about what's good for us and individually and our individual rights as human beings. But I think that's why AI. I would love for U.S. AI companies to win, but my deep down assumption is we're going to lose to overseas AI that is being trained. They're not even asking. At least Amazon gives you an opt. I guess here's a one benefit I'll give you. At least you can opt out.
That's true.
Other AI models, there is no opt out. We don't even care what you think. We don't care what you know we're doing. We're going to do what we want to train the model how we want to, so we can do whatever the heck we want and
Yeah.
deal with it. So it's just it's a little bit of US AI has their hands tied behind their back because they are trying to create some level of discourse or some level of
Hmm.
accountability, responsibility, respectability. But that just means you're going to lose to the
Yeah.
AI that does not care. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that plays out in the end as we get closer. And I think we are getting closer. This isn't any kind of prophetic type comment or anything, but I think by 2028, we will have reached a level of AI that one will rise above the rest. And whether it's a US one or a non US one, we'll know by 2028 because it is. Have you noticed how great AI is at? It is just. It is making leaps and bounds. Whether you care about whether it's being made ethically or not, AI
It's
is.
improving rapidly.
It's
Rapidly.
so impressive. It's so helpful too. Like Twitch or not Twitch, Gemini, Google. If you do anything in the slides in Excel, I forget what they call it. Google's version of Microsoft
Yeah,
Excel.
Google. I think it is Google Slides.
Okay. Uh, it now can do charts and encoding inside it. So,
Yeah.
like for you and I as number crunchers, if we are just crunching numbers, and then you say, "Hey, you just write in there, hey, make this a chart that shows, the past 5 years of the data that's in front of you. It'll do it inside the very spreadsheet that has the data. Like, you
That's
don't
really
have to
nice.
go to Claude, or you don't have to go to any other terminal or anything. You can just do it straight
Just
in.
integrated.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's crazy good. It's crazy convenient. And that's the part that a lot of Americans want to complain and cry and moan. But at the end of the day, convenience is something Westerners like.
Yeah.
And we will quickly forget, wait, how was this trained? Oh, it ripped the brains of 1,000 accountants to do this. Oh, but it's really nice. How quick we forget. How many jobs were lost to make this convenient. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking all doom and gloom about AI, let's actually briefly talk about our new segment,
Oh,
the Scruffy Money segment. About just want to give you a quick tip on like how you can actually make your own financial future more attainable and potentially have more success. We were talking about how Twitch is having this death by 1,000 cuts. It's not clearly this one big problem that's causing the potential downfall of Twitch, but it's very similar for your own personal finances. Not having a plan is a plan to fail. You probably heard that 1,000 times. But if you are not like actually budgeting, that's exactly what your financial future will be. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Because if you don't know where your money is going, it's just going to slowly leak out. And one of the things that people roll their eyes when I say this, but it's also true. They come back and tell me, you're like, you know what? It was right. When you do your budget, you actually feel like you got a raise because you know where your money's going now and you know how much you were spending on certain categories that you didn't realize. Like I was helping someone with it and they didn't realize that they were spending $800 a month just on going out to eat. And they were like, oh, if I just cut that down to $500 a month, that's $400 more dollars I can be putting towards my credit card debt, which is absolutely massive. So, short segment, but if you want a raise, do a budget, have a plan, and you will start making progress for your financial future.
and 800 minus 500 is 300. But yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're the numbers guy.
You're going fast. But I think you said 400. I'm like, I think he meant 300.
Yeah, 300.
Yeah. All right, cool.
But
Great little money minute, guys. So moving on to whether Twitch is right or wrong. Another strike, another X on Twitch. And hopefully this generative AI type stuff, I don't even know what to make of it. I literally don't even know. Because what is it? It's copying our chat. It's literally trying to understand how we communicate to each other. It's not necessarily, unless they're lying. It's not how the streamer streams. Is what is the chat saying in? So it just feels like Big Brother is learning, but is it learning to replace us? Is it learning to figure out how we operate? Is it learning to figure out how to sell us more stuff we don't want to buy until they convince us to buy it? Very interesting. Very interesting to see where they take it.
Yeah, and I think to that end, the bigger problem / the bigger question is like, there's a difference between using an AI model to analyze your content, find out when people are clicking on, when people are clicking off, or why Twitch is recommending your stream, why you're actually getting on the homepage or something like that, versus an AI model going through and looking at, okay, he said this, and then people are chatting this, so this is what gets engagement. That's two very different things. And I think there's some elements where AI can be very helpful to help you reach your audience better and actually find ways to improve your content. But this is not just providing tools to improve your content. This is trying to, it seems like, identify what your content is and figure out a way to replicate that, which is dangerous.
And you know what I've just realized? I think I know why this is happening. I think Amazon said, hey guys, how are you going to make Twitch profitable? And Twitch corporate says, we have no idea. We haven't yet figured it out. And Amazon says, well, if you don't know, guess who we're going to have figure it out? AI. And so we're going to send the AI boys to read chat to figure out how to make profit come out of this equation. because we're sick of you guys losing money every year since we bought you.
Yeah.
I think there's a play there, because I think if there's one thing AI is good at, it's understanding data. But the problem is you got to feed it data, and that now we're here. So I think that could be it. I think this could be Twitch's way of giving a solution of how to be profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad point, because right now the biggest cost Twitch has as a company is creator payouts. So finding a way to decrease that and increase profit margins would immediately solve the issue. And that's the way a lot of private equity companies and a lot of these big companies look for ways to make things profitable, as they look at where the biggest expense is and how do we cut that back. So that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other side to this whole trading stuff, there's no money for anyone. No one gets paid to participate in any of this. So I think that's part of the problem. Like, at the end of the day, one has to assume Amazon isn't doing this to be kind. They're doing this to make profit. They're doing this to make money. So they're gonna train on us for free and not pay us anything, so that they can get more money. I think there's a certain level where I think if there was a monetary transaction where it felt like our content creator of choice is getting paid, I think most people would put up with it. If our content creator could get paid by understanding our chat, and that content creator isn't like one of the wealthy dudes who's just makes tons of money.
Yeah.
Those are the things. I wonder if they missed the boat there. Twitch could have done that, and so they would have lost out on all the big creators, because the big creators don't need any more money. But they would have got the chat of 98% of the Twitch content creators' chats.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. So it's interesting who gets more data, more value.
Yeah. Yeah. Would it have been more profitable for them to be able to say, hey, if you run this data analytics on your stream, we'll pay you X amount of dollars if you run it for a year? That is really interesting, because if that is what they're ultimately trying to do with this AI bot, and we don't know the purpose behind them wanting to train this, but if their intention is to ultimately create something that can augment or replace creators, spending a couple $100,000 for a couple years to do that makes sense.
It sure does.
So,
I think we've beat this Twitch horse to death. Let's move on to the next thing. The next segment is making money the dumb way. Yes!
With Romans.
So I'm on a mission to prove to you, if you just invest in whatever you want, as long as you don't buy the dumbest things on the planet, penny stocks or something that you know nothing about, and you just buy stuff you love, you too can make a ton of money. Just don't buy SpaceX stock. And here he goes. And he's going to go, I told you not to buy that stock. So,
I did tell you not to buy it, though. So that's the thing.
Good news is that we're not really day trading right now, because apparently the market is so bad, there really isn't really a clear way to run. So Scruffy doesn't have to give me an idea, but it only helps the future. So who could we buy today, Mr. Scruffy, for $1,000? Who could it be? And tell me, and I'll do it right now.
Let me look at ANET. I think ANET, Arista Networks. Yeah, I like them. They're down. They're actually down quite a bit today. So it would be a good time to buy. ANET, ANET.
ANET. Arista Networks. What the heck? Why? What is with the stock price? $193 a share?
Okay, I can give you something else if you want.
No, I don't care. I'll do it. I'll do it. 5 shares. That's 5 shares. No, we're not thinking. This isn't about thinking, Scruffy. This is investing the dumb way. We're just doing. I'm just gonna do it. Before investing, consider your time horizon. Why are you warning me? You know why? Because I keep doing dumb stuff. It's like I used to never get a warning. It just would do it. It's like,
it's learning. Are you sure you want to buy this?
Sir? Sir.
That's actually really funny.
Isn't that funny? Oh, man. And if it wasn't for my SpaceX stock, I am up. Even though the stock market is terrible, I'm still up for the year, which is a very funny comment because it's been pretty bad.
This year has been incredibly volatile. And this is the whole point of this part of the show is we want to show you that like even if you're doing it in one of the dumbest ways possible, if you are consistently investing, you can still make money the dumb way. You can still make money even if you're not a financial guru or a finance expert. If you're just consistent about putting money away, it can make money. And I think we said once we've been doing this for about a year or so, we'll show you
Yes.
some of the analytics of
Yes.
what this portfolio has actually done. And you're going to be shocked.
And I'm openly doing the money that we've discussed. So I'll isolate it so it's just the money we've talked about on the show. And kind of what I'm seeing here, though, it's very interesting. I'm up 13, excluding what was that stock? SpaceX.
SpaceX.
I'm losing my shirt on SpaceX, but other than SpaceX, I'm up 9%. Investing the dumb way, which is pretty good. No strategy, just bumping
in
a friend.
in under a year. That's really good.
Yeah. We're if I'm reading this right, we're up $1,300, which is roughly 9%. And then I have the other problems. The other money I invested is a little bit harder to read because it's mixed in with my SpaceX and my other stocks, so I can't quite read it. But the numbers are green, so
we like green numbers. We like green numbers a lot.
Yeah, I'm reading really quick. I'm up $400 in the other stocks. There are a couple losers. So, anyways, So yay, hooray!
But yeah, so that's our episode for today. We'd love to hear what you guys think about the whole Twitch thing. Don't go too crazy in the comments, but
go crazy.
It's something. Crazy. Romans wants you to go crazy, but I think it's definitely an interesting place we are in right now. But until next time, this has been Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. Bye.